Shalom Akim, my name's Kayal. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, double honors to our elders and apostles who rule Great Millstone well, and Shalom to all you Akim, pushing this truth with sincerity throughout the whole earth. May you brothers endure into the end. Shalom. Last night, I went to go see that movie Wonder Woman, and there's some parts, and I don't want to be a spoiler, spoil the movie for anybody that hasn't seen it because it's still kind of new. But there's a lot of parts that actually go back to scripture, and one of them is how the woman is put over the man, okay? And that was the whole intentions of Wonder Woman. Even by when they first created the design of Wonder Woman, it was to make her not need a man, stronger than a man, okay? And honestly, all Wonder Woman is a prostitute. Okay. Okay, here's the word prostitute. And as a noun, and a noun describes a person. Noun, this is number one, a person in particular, a woman who engages in sexual activity for payment. As a verb, offer someone for sexual activity in exchange for payment. But I wanted to get right here where it says the Latin. And the Latin is pro, which means before, and stature, set up or place. Okay, so it's not really so much about having sex for money. It's to parade a person before as just like a statue would be. A statue would be a monument, okay, or to glorify someone. And that's what they do with Wonder Woman. In fact, there's this part that she destroys the church, and everybody's clapping for her because she walks, she's on top of the church, and honestly, it's symbolic of how the Christian church has raised the woman up over the man, and they have put this mentality in women to think that they're above a man and that they don't need a man. But that's not accurate according to Scripture. Because, we'll just get it out of the Scripture. But once again, prostitute is not so much about having sex for money, but it's being set up before people. So, such as set up just like a statue. A statue is like a setup before people to like a display, okay? And that's what a lot of people do. They think they display their woman's beauty. They put their woman over this truth. They do it in many fashions, but they put the woman up on a pedestal, and you're not supposed to do that. The woman is not God, and the woman is not to be paraded as a God. She is not to be put up over the man. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Okay? So, man was not created to serve the woman. The woman was created to serve man. And in fact, if you go into the etymology of the word woman, it means a servant or to serve. And that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be serving their husband pleasure. Okay? But with that image of Wonder Woman, they're trying to install an image inside people's head that woman has the ability to be a superhero, strong, without man. Because in that movie, that's what they're pretty much getting at, is how Wonder Woman is the whole Amazon. I mean, you go back into the story of Wonder Woman, because the story of Wonder Woman is quite old. She's from the Amazons, and Amazons was a whole civilization of beautiful women that did not need man. But once again, that's false according to Scripture. I'm gonna read this again. 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 8. For the woman is not of for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman of the man. Here, let me get another one. Same chapter. Right. We get 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. So it goes Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, man, and Israelite man, and then the Israelite woman. Okay, so the head of the woman is the man. Okay, so honestly, a woman can't even go to Yahweh Shai. She's supposed to go to her husband and serve Yahweh Shai while Yahweh Shai through her husband. Okay, so once again, a woman, the way she pleases the Lord is by pleasing her husband with pleasure. Okay, and a woman is not supposed to be nagging her husband, causing him problems and grief. She's supposed to be a helper. She's supposed to help him. Okay, and how does she help him? She helps him by giving him relief in this society. Okay, and Wonder Woman, she's none of that. In fact, they tell her she's too good for a man. They show her be with a white man, so they push that image of the so-called white man being better than any other race. That's the blue eyes, the white skin, so on and so forth, which is another wickedness. But I really want to stick on how Wonder Woman is a prostitute. All she is a prostitute. She's being put on a pedestal before everyone, and you're not supposed to do that with a woman. A woman is supposed to be humble and meek. Okay, there's a couple points in this that I wanted to get from the creator about the creator of Wonder Woman. His name was William Moulton Marston. Okay, they said William Moulton Marston. He was born May 9th, 1893 to May 2nd, 1947, also known by the pen name Charles Moulton, was an American psychologist. Okay, let's see what that word psychologist goes back to. Okay, because this goes back to Psalms 83. Okay, a psychologist is a professional who evaluates and studies behavior and mental processes. In order to become a psychologist, a person must complete either a master's degree or a doctor degree, depending on the country in which they live. The definition of a psychologist is non-exclusive. In most state jurisdictions, members of other behavioral professions, such as counselors and psychiatrists, can also evaluate, diagnose, treat, and study mental processes. Okay, so it's messing with the brain. Okay, he studies the brain, and that's what I want to get at. Okay, so once again, this man who invented the Wonder Woman, once again, it all goes back to the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai to fulfill his whole purpose. But he allowed this man to be the inventor of Wonder Woman, and he's a psychologist, and there's a reason why, and we're going to get back into that. This is so it says Charles Moulton was an American psychologist, inventor, self-help author, and comic book writer who created the character Wonder Woman. Okay, and look, I'm gonna keep going. Two women, his wife Elizabeth Holloway Marston and Olive Byrne, both greatly influenced Wonder Woman's creation. Okay, so that woman, Wonder Woman, is built off of what he thought was beauty, which is just another cave bitch, an Edomite woman. Two of them, actually. But I want to get down here. Right here to this part here. It's under the themes. Okay? But he has a quote here. Though Marston had described female nature as being more capable of submission or motion in his other writings and interviews, he referred to submission as a noble practice and did not shy away from sexual implications, saying, "The only hope for peace is to teach people who are full of pep and unbound force to enjoy being bound, so to be enslaved. Only when the control of self by others is more pleasant than the unbound assertion of self in human relationships can we hope for a stable, peaceful, human society. Giving to others, being controlled by them, submitting to other people cannot possibly be enjoyable without a strong erotic element." One of the purpose, so that's a quote from this man that created or invented Wonder Woman. So that's what his mentality was behind. He knew that women were supposed to be in that submissive position, but now he intentionally wrote this. He invented this cartoon character to flip the roles. Okay, so pretty much to change the genders, to say a woman could be as a man. Okay, I'm gonna skip down to the next. I'm gonna skip one chapter to the next one. About male readers, he wrote later, "Give them an alluring woman stronger than themselves to submit to, and they'll be proud to become her willing slaves." So intentionally, this so-called was designed to get men's attention and to make them desire to submit to a strong, mouthy ass woman. Pretty much what she is. She's a prostitute. Okay, that's why the mini skirt. She shows the flesh. She acts like she's timid in the spirit, but she's actually she's a nasty woman. Okay, because she sleeps with a man in a one-night stand. She does a lot of wicked things in the movie. I don't want to spoil the movie if you haven't seen it, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But once again, she's nothing but a prostitute. She's being put on a pedestal before men and women to get a message implanted into your brains. She was designed by an Edomite psychologist to deliver a message to your brain, to sketch that, to burn it into your brain, to make you think you need a woman that you can't control. Women are supposed to be submissive. Women were made for men. Men were not made for women. I want to get the scripture one more time, just to edify that. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 8. "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man." You know, and that image is pushed much in society to us. That's why they teach us to open doors, to pull out the chairs, to take off your coat and to put it on your girl if it's cold, to get on your knee and ask for her hand in marriage, and to even offer a gift like a diamond ring. You know, that they're trying to make you a feminized culture, which they already succeeded, because most men are already turning fag already. A lot of men are already homosexuals, and if they ain't in the open, a lot of men are down low, and down low men are even feminine men. Say they like women, they have sex with women, they have children and all that, they're married, but they're still feminine in their ways. They will be destroyed, just like if they were homosexual, because either way, they're both considered an abomination. Okay, so this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. "Let your woman keep silence in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home. For it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church." In the churches, when the men are out there teaching and prophesying in the street. And you know, when we're out there, you see the Christian women walking around giving out pork gifts, you know, like little sandwiches, pork pulled sandwiches and shit like that, with an Edomite pulling their chain. And a woman ain't supposed to do that. She's supposed to be at home where she belongs. But in this society, they try to teach these women that they have something to offer the world. And all they have to offer is pleasure to a husband, one husband. Women ain't supposed to be sleeping around. Women are supposed to be at home waiting on their husband. And we ain't supposed to have one woman. We're supposed to have many women. But see, in this society, they have put the woman as God. Just as they have called Wonder Woman, they say she is a god. But she's no god. Because in that movie, she suffers loss. And if she was a god, how did she suffer loss? Okay, I don't want to ruin the movie once again, but I'm just trying to make a point. They're trying to portray a woman as God. And a woman is not a god. A woman is servant of pleasure to her husband, to one husband. Okay, this is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. Okay. This is not modest apparel. She is a whore, a prostitute. That outfit right there is not modest. Her hair being down like that is not modest. Okay, this is 1 Timothy 2, verse 9. Like in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness. And shamefacedness is where you can't get her to look you in the eye. Women ain't supposed to be looking no man in the eye. But now, they've been with so many men, they don't even respect a man. Nowadays, women think they could put their hands on men. They're not supposed to be doing these things. They're supposed to be shamefacedness, meaning like humble. Okay? And sobriety. Not with braided hair. And braided goes back to braided. Or or gold, or pearls, or costly array. I mean, you ain't supposed to be in these jewelry stores dropping all this money to try to buy a woman some kind of expensive gift to hope she thinks you're worth something. She's supposed to be getting on her knee offering you gifts because you're the seed bearer. You're the one that bears the seed. In your loins, if you're an Israelite man, you're the one with the bears the seed that is worth the gold. The woman is worth pleasure. She is supposed to be serving a man pleasure, not problems, not headaches, not arguments, not complaints. She's supposed to be bringing her husband pleasure, one husband. And that one husband is supposed to be the man that took her virginity. You're not supposed to get a woman after she's been turned upside down in every way other by all kinds of different men. She ain't supposed to be bringing you all kinds of different men children. You're supposed to get your women young and as virgins. And you ain't supposed to be getting on your knee with an expensive diamond ring and things like that to offer her to hope she wants you and desires you. Verse 10. But which becometh women professing godliness with good works. What is godliness? Good works. What is the good works? Keeping the commandments. So just as much as you are, your woman is supposed to be striving to keep the commandments to the best of her ability. But you're supposed to be leading her because you're supposed to be the head. Your woman is not supposed to be leading you. Your woman is not supposed to be commanding you. Your woman is not supposed to be telling you shit. You're supposed to be obeying the Most High. Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. And your woman is supposed to obey you. Verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. And that's the problem today. Most women got fat mouths. That they think they have something to say, that they have an opinion, but their opinion don't matter. Verse 12. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. That's why a majority of the 2/3 that are going to be put to death are women. Because women don't know how to shut up and obey. But instead, men want to obey their wives because they're afraid to lose their wives. But if you have that fear that you're going to lose your wife, She's never been yours. Verse 13. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman, being deceived, was in the transgression. Notwithstanding meaning, even if you don't understand this, it don't matter. This is the truth. She shall be saved in childbearing. Why? Because her whole purpose is to serve her husband pleasure. There is no other purpose for a woman. A woman don't belong in college. A woman don't belong nowhere else but in the house bringing her husband pleasure. The whole purpose of a woman is pleasure. If they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. And see, that's the thing too. Okay, so you might have a woman that may obey you to a point, but if you got a woman that's going out, meeting friends and having drinks, your woman is a wicked woman. She's an abomination. If she's still living as the world is, if she's still trying to be part of this world, she has hope in this world. There's going to be a future. She wants you to start investing money into the future. You know what? Your woman is trash. That's all there is to it. Okay? That's all there is to it. A woman's place is pleasure. Your woman is not for advice. Your woman is not for any assistance in information. None of that. Her only place is to spread her legs and offer pleasure. You know, to help out around. Otherwise than that, she has no place but in pleasure. That's her place, is pleasure. The word woman means servant. She is to serve pleasure to her husband. And she ain't supposed to have a bunch of husbands. And you ain't supposed to be getting no wife after she's had a bunch of husbands. She's supposed to be pure, like a virgin. She's supposed to be a virgin. You know, and you're supposed to get your wife young and as a virgin. But nowadays, in this wicked-ass society, most of the time you get a woman, she's already had 3-4 babies from other men. Right? She's already had 10 different dudes, 20 different dudes. Maybe trains, gangbangs ran on her. And you're supposed to love that shit. No, not according to the Bible. She is her value is in pleasing you. That's the place of the woman. Alright? And the way Eve was deceived, just like women are deceived today, just like they show that woman, Wonder Woman, be deceived in that movie, she obeyed a heathen man. Alright? Thinking that she could be as God. And it's not God meaning Yahweh, the power of Israel, but she's actually thinking she could be as a man. Just like that image of woman is portraying that woman, she could be strong as a man, courageous like a man. Woman cannot be that. Genesis 3 verse 17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened, and hearken means listened, unto the voice of thy wife, meaning your wife ain't for advice. You're not supposed to go to your wife for advice. And hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, which is the tree of knowledge, which means your woman ain't supposed to be in college. Your woman ain't supposed to be out there with other men. Her place, if she has to work, that's understandable. If your woman has to go to work, but that's where most affairs take place anyways. Because she'll go to work, you have a bad day, an argument, and then there'll be another man sweet talking with her, and then she'll leave you. That's why women don't need to be nowhere but at home, waiting upon you to serve you with pleasure, taking care of the children, of which I commanded thee. And that's why Esau, the fucking devil he is, that's why he wants to make it so hard where one man can't afford a home no more. You need your wife to go to work because he wants your woman out there being messed with, being a flusy, being a whore. It says, and the tree that he was talking about was the tree of knowledge once again, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. And it's not talking about an apple or a fruit, just like the Christians tell you. The fruit was the doctrine. You're not supposed to be listening to women's doctrine. You're not supposed to be in these Christian churches. You're not supposed to be worshiping woman. You're supposed to stand strong. That's what happened. That's what Adam failed. Adam failed by listening to his woman. You're not supposed to listen to your woman. She is not for advice. She is for pleasure. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, or out of it was thou taken. From dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. I'm going to read these last two verses again. Verse 18. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken. From dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. And so, because he listened to his woman, now we suffer pain, we sweat, we have to labor for our food. The earth doesn't just give us our food. We have to suffer those consequences for listening to woman. And men are still doing this to the day. Men are still doing this. They may go to camp and think they got the truth, but on the side they're obeying their women like puppies. Whatever their women says, it goes. Oh, you know, you even break the commandments just to fulfill your woman deal, you know? Like eating pork. If you don't eat pork, why the fuck you gonna let your woman have pork in the house? You know? Stand up, have some fucking backbone. Be a fucking man. Now I'm gonna finish up here with these verses here. This is Proverbs 31:10, and it says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." Meaning it's hard. The rubies and diamonds and gold. If you ever watch those shows where they try to pull it out the ground, it's hard to get diamonds and gold and rubies. It's hard to get these valuable material. Well, how much more do you think it's hard to find women, a good woman? Because virtuous is meaning she's full of virtue, meaning good morals. But these women are hard to find, you know. The heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Meaning, most women you can't even trust. You gotta worry about who they're talking to, where they're at, what's going on with them. That's why most men are overoccupied by their woman and not in this truth as much as they should be. That's why in the scripture it's better to be alone sometimes. All right, but also, you know, if you're a woman listening to these videos and you think you're in the truth, if you ain't providing a man in this truth pleasure, you ain't a good woman. You're not a virtuous woman. Just because you sit there and watch the videos, it don't mean shit. Because you're still a servant with hidden treasure. You're hiding your talent. Your talent is to serve a man pleasure, and you're hiding it. So no, you're not a virtuous woman, even if you're watching these videos. It doesn't matter. What you're supposed to be doing is serving a man, an Israelite man, in this truth, that's pushing this truth, and let him be your head, and you serve him pleasure, and let him lead you. Verse 11, the heart, I'm going to start at 10 again. This is Proverbs 31:10. So this is for all the men that think you got a virtuous woman, that you got a good woman. Well, this is Solomon, King Solomon, the wisest king in the world. He had many women. In fact, there's a scripture where he says he searched for a good woman and he did not find one. So this is Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies, meaning rare. They're very rare. And if you find them, it's very expensive for them. Because the woman of virtue, she's gonna make you wait out. Okay, she's gonna put you through some kind of way of seeing who you're about. Cause she don't want to just give herself over to you. A virtuous woman is she wants a man that's gonna lead her in righteousness, and righteousness is keeping the commandments. So once again, if you're a woman watching these videos and you ain't got a man over you, you're not a virtuous woman. If you're not serving a man pleasure that's in this truth, you're not a virtuous woman. You're just another 2/3 at the current time. Verse 11, the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, meaning she's going to watch his back. She's going to watch his back, make sure no one harms him, including her own family. She's going to watch over his goods, his time, his effort, and not so that she could make orders or commands because she thinks she rules something, but so that because she loves her husband and she cares for her husband and she loves for all him, and meaning his finances and everything else. And if she knew someone was taking advantage of him, she would warn him and tell him that, that's what her help is for. Her help ain't supposed to be spending the money where she's out fucking buying expensive jewelry. You're out trying to parade your woman around like a fancy model, or you're trying to get a house and cars and all this other shit. Your woman is supposed to be there, and you're supposed to be able to trust in her day or night. You're not supposed to have to call your woman constantly worrying about where she's at, because you should already know, Shalakia, where she's at. But if you got that problem, you ain't got a virtuous woman. You got a Wonder Woman, a prostitute. Verse 12. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She will do him good and not evil. Evil means ill time, bad times. Ill being ill, and then eve meaning the evening, or like a time. So it would be ill times, bad times. She's not supposed to be causing you problems. She's not supposed to be arguing with you and giving you headaches. She's supposed to be serving you pleasure. That's the whole purpose of a woman. She is to serve you with pleasure. Shalakia, I said I was going to finish that last verse, but through the Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I was brought to this last verse. This is Genesis 2, verse 18. Genesis 2, verse 18. And Yahweh power said, it is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him. A helpmeet. Okay? You're supposed to assist your husband. And what do you give him? Are you supposed to pull the plow like an ox? Huh? Is what? You're supposed to serve him pleasure. You're supposed to be with him in happiness. You're supposed to bring him rest and pleasure. You're supposed to assist him in that area. You're not supposed to be bringing him bad times. You're not supposed to be bringing your husband bad times. And if you got a wife or a woman that causes you ill time, which is bad times, she argues with you, she complains, she's always got something to say, you got a bad woman. You ain't got a virtuous woman. A woman is supposed to bring her husband pleasure. She has no other place but pleasure in this world. And she's supposed to be pleasuring one husband. And that husband is supposed to be the man that takes her virginity. And with this, I say Shalom Akim. I pray that this is edifying to the true elect. In the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And may you brothers endure to the end. Shalom.